we're going to take a look at the 1/3 scale Raphael piece by PCS. This is part of their TMNT Legends line. This is the first release in the line. I received number 106 of 350, and this is the EX. Here is the art box. You have a high resolution image of Raphael in the front. Very clean image there, high gloss, high contrast, nicely done. You have some variations of the image on the back and along the sides as well. Inside the box you have the styrofoam clamshell. Very happy to see that they are going with the Velcro straps instead of taping along the outside. Just a much easier, much cleaner way of holding the package together. And then inside the package we have each section or each piece individually wrapped. They did use some tape inside the box to tape over each compartment to hold the smaller pieces in place. So I thought that was a very nice touch as well. Should have very few reports of damaged pieces in transit because it is very well packaged. Taking a look at the base is set in the sewer, which is typical for Ninja Turtles, right? You have your manhole cover. Here you have some of this green ooze or swamp water and a downed Mauser there. You have this nice sewage pipe here. I like how the bars are really individual and have depth to them. That entire area there is kind of open. Another piece of a Mauser on the top, and there is where Raphael actually keys in. Pretty good texture work here. I mean, your colors are pretty much earth tones. You have the silver in the manhole cover, brown in the drainage pipe, grayish brown on the rocks. But it's a nice green that they use for that. I'm just gonna call it ooze. Here you have the two head sculpts that are included in the EX. And again, a shot with all of the parts laid out on the table along with the base. The silver used on the Mauser parts is good, gives that metallic effect for sure. They also have some brown in there to accent some of the panels and grooves and scratches and scrapes. Your portraits look great. You have the EX version of Raphael with the actual pupils showing in the bandana. And then you have your whited out eyes on the other. And the hands look great as well. Really notice the fingernails and the kind of the sheen on the nails themselves. Everything well textured, well colored. Here is the body for Raphael pegged into the base. I took some pictures here just to give you an opportunity to appreciate some of the detail. So I'm going to give you a moment to enjoy these pics, and then we'll come back and discuss in detail some of the work that went into the body itself. So as you can tell from the pictures, man, this guy really has texture everywhere, from the turtle skin to the shell to the bandages and wraps and pouches and belts. Like everything just has a unique layer of texture to it. I know that for some turtle fans, this is a little off-putting. More traditional fans like the smooth skin. This is a more realistic take, so I appreciate all of the texture work in his skin and the different variations and rough sections. Front of his shell is probably the most smooth portion of the whole statue. The back of the shell has a beautiful turtle pattern to it. And you can see with the knee pads and elbow pads and even the buckle that he has around his leg and the belt buckle and pouches, all of the browns used there really do a good job of conveying leather. Here is a look at some of the wrapping that goes around his feet and his legs and his arms. Again, different texture there. And his shell, battle damage, you can tell that he is an experienced fighter. He has been in many fights, and they did a good job of conveying that in his shell. Overall, I just think they did a great job with the textures there. You can see some of the leather effect as well. From the base to the body, great job. Now to assemble the Mauser that's on the base, you have the one in the sewage, but then you have the one on top of the drainage pipe, so you just have to pop his leg on there. And then his head, while it does have a magnet, you still have to use a little bit of back and forth rocking motion to wedge it in there. Once you get it in there, it's good and secure. It's not going anywhere. And there you have it. Here's a closer shot of it. Looks really good. Moving on to his hands, I like the sculpt of it, the way that he's gripping the weapon kind of between his fingers in a really aggressive manner. I like that. Good texturing around the handle, and a little bit lighter green on his palms. Good magnets on these as well. Just had to kind of line them up, and then the magnets do the work. As you see, just pulls it in, nice and secure. Same with the other hand, kind of the same positioning, holding the sai in his hand. They're not metal. They are what appears to be polystone, so be careful with them. That'll come into play a little bit later when we look at the bonus. But again, nice, strong magnet there. Here we have the standard portrait with the whited out eyes. I really love this one. This is the one that I will be using for display. I love the skin texture and all of the cuts and scrapes that he has on his face. Really shows that these are really battle-tested versions of the Ninja Turtles. Nice strong magnet, snaps right on, like so. And there you have a full view of the standard version of Raphael on the base. Excellent. If you can't get a hold of the EX, you will be more than happy with this version of it. Big, solid, well done statue. All right, and here's the EX portrait with the bandana and the actual eyes with the pupils. Interestingly enough, the Donatello that's on pre-order right now does not have a portrait like this. Both of his portraits have the whited out eyes, so it will be interesting to see what PCS decides to do. I know that some collectors prefer this look. I personally am going with the whited out eyes, so I don't think I'm gonna have a dilemma, but hopefully PCS finds a way to give you that ability to have them all displayed the same way. So we'll see. If you're looking for a seam, it's there. They did a good job of blending it in. From certain angles on the side, you see it, but from straight ahead, it's a non-factor. So I think they did a good job of concealing that neck seam. And then finally, here is a picture of the other EX bonus piece, the Mauser that's on the side. I think this is the only area where they came up a bit short. Seems like in production, they changed their approach. In the description, you were supposed to have a swap out left hand, and the assumption would be that the Mauser would be attached to it and properly weight balanced. They ended up going with a standalone Mauser that you just slide over the one side, the one hand with the side that you receive. Problem is, it's a bit too heavy. Again, the sai is sculpted polystone, it's not metal, and this guy is pretty heavy. He needed to be a lot lighter for this to work. I've seen online that there's some concerns about leaving him on there long term, whether that's going to damage the sai. I think that there is a chance of that because it's just too heavy, and I just wouldn't feel comfortable leaving it on there at all. So one area of opportunity for sure is in that EX bonus. I will just be displaying it to the side. So here are some pictures of that bonus Mauser just laying on the base. That's how I will display it. So even with that miss, I still consider this a 5 out of 5 statue from PCS. If you're a Ninja Turtle fan, if you're a fan of this style of turtle, I think you should definitely pick it up. Donatello is up for pre-order now. I think Shredder is next. By the time we get to Leonardo and Michelangelo, I think this guy's gonna be long gone and hard to find at a decent price. So if you're interested, I would recommend you pick them up now. There has been some conversation online about his overall size, whether he's too short. Keep in mind, he's based off of the comic books. They're about 5'3" in the comics. So when you compare him to other 1/3 scale pieces, I think he's properly scaled. He has the right size, the right mass. He's just a little short, and he's in his hunch position. So you can't expect him to be as tall as those others. Here he is next to Wolverine, just about the same size, but he's a bit bulkier. I think that looks good. I don't think there's a problem with the scale. Here he is with the LBS Captain America. Next we have him with a custom Darth Vader. PCS's own Miles Morales. And another comparison with Wolverine. So in my eyes, scaling is not an issue. Again, get him while you can, and thanks for watching.